Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Dorothea. I am crocheter behind Crochet Patterns, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute crochet baby romper. This is a zigzag romper that I just designed, and you can find the written instructions on my blog, a video tutorial here on YouTube or on my Patreon, and PDF version of these instructions with additional sizes available on my Patreon shop and also on my shops on Etsy and Ravelry. Today I'm going to show you how to make this crochet romper. It is made from the bottom to the top. You start with the legs, then you join those two legs together, work on the body, then you work on the front upper part, and then the straps, which are actually functional. You can open and close them. This part between the legs stays closed just because I think if we would add some buttons, they could be on a way when baby is moving around and they would be just too bulky here between the legs. That's why I've decided not to add them, and this portion of the romper stays closed. The romper itself is quite baggy, so it is easy to dress and undress. And once you learn the zigzag stitch, is super easy to work on it. Rompers are super cute and easy crochet projects, especially for the summertime, and they can be made in just a couple of days or even less. I've made a bunch of baby rompers in the past and also showed and shared tutorials here on this channel and on my blog, so you are more than welcome to check them out. Now, without further ado, let me show you what you will need for this tutorial. Let's start with yarn. You are going to need some DK weight yarn. I'm going to use for this tutorial cotton light from Drops. This is 50% cotton and 60% polyester yarn. I'm going to use it in 3 colors, and so this very beige or white color, which is number 1. Then we have this brown color, which is number 22. And then we have this burnt orange color, which is number 35. So you are going to need 1 skein of burnt orange and brown, and you are going to need a little bit more for the main color, so I would say around 2 skeins. And that is because you see here that the beige, in my case, of course, it's my main color, and that's why I'm going to use 2 skeins and 1 skein of each of those 2. You are also going to need 4mm crochet hook. You're going to need scissors. You are going to need a tapestry needle. And you are going to need 2 little buttons. So those 2 buttons are just here on the top. Here is just like this, and you cannot open the romper on the bottom, but you can open it here on the top. So those 2 buttons on the top are functional, like this. So the very first thing that we will be working on is the leg. For the leg, we are going to create the first one, and after that we are going to create another one, but after finishing the first one we are going to cut the yarn and fasten off everything. As you can see here, I was also taking the beige yarn with me as I went, and after you finish the second one, we are going to start building the bridge between the legs. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross my yarn like this. I'm going to pull the yarn from the back through, and this is my loop that I'm going to use to start my foundation chain. My foundation chain will be made out of 40 chains. So let's do that. Grab the yarn, pull it through. Please make sure that those chains are not too tight, because instead of working into one of the front loops, I will be working into back bumps. So if you want, you can work into the front loops as well, but I usually prefer to work into back bumps my first row or round, because the edges are way nicer than when working into front loop. So I have 10. You can also take 4.5 millimeter crochet hook instead of 4 millimeter, just so that your foundation chain is not too tight. But yeah, other than that, just make sure that the chains are not too tight. Alright, so I have 40 chains right now, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join my foundation chain. Please make sure you don't twist the chain here. Make sure that the front loops are all faced towards you when you pull the tail. And now I'm going to insert the hook into the very first chain on my foundation chain, and I can show you. I'm going to lift it a little bit with my needle, just so it is easier for me to insert the hook. And I'm going to create a slip stitch. So I inserted my hook in. I'm going to grab the yarn, pull it through my first loop on my hook, and then through the second one. Now this might look a little bit confusing, so I'm going to show you again. This is the back bump, and we are going to use that back bump for our first stitch. So we are going to create chain 1 to lift the row to a proper height, because we are going to work with half double crochet stitches, and we are going to work 1 half double crochet stitch into that very first chain on our foundation chain where we joined our chain. So yarn over, insert the hook into the loop, grab the yarn on the other side and pull it through. Now you have 1, 2, 3 loops on your crochet hook. Grab the yarn again and pull it through all 3. Now if you are using cotton light yarn, this yarn is beautiful, but it can be a little bit challenging to work with, especially because the fibers are not so well twisted together, and that's why the yarn is splitting a lot, and it is quite hard to work with sometimes, especially if that is your first time to work with. You just need a little bit of practice and everything goes well. If you don't like it, that's okay. Find another DK weight yarn that works well for you, because this pattern works very well with almost any DK weight yarn. Alright, so I'm going to use stitch marker. I usually don't use stitch markers, but I'm going to use it here just to show you where the stitches are. So I'm going to insert my stitch marker into the very first stitch of the row, of the round actually, because we are going in the round. Now, I don't know if you can see it, I hope you can, but that is the front side of the foundation chain, and that is the back, and here this next bump is our next back bump. So let's start with the next stitch. It's also half double crochet stitch. The first 3 of them are, so we are going to yarn over, insert the hook into the next back bump. It can be a little bit challenging, this first round. So we have 1, 2, 3, yarn over and pull the yarn through. You see it's splitting quite a lot. Yarn over, insert the hook, grab the back bump, pull the yarn through, pull the yarn through again. So those are our first 3 half double crochet stitches. Now we are going to work on our first increase. So we are going to yarn over, go under that back bump, pull the yarn through. We have 1, 2, 3, pull the yarn through. We have our half double crochet stitch, chain 1, yarn over, insert the hook, grab the yarn on the other side. We have 1, 2, 3, grab the yarn and pull it through. So what this is here is 1 half double crochet stitch, 1 chain and 1 half double crochet stitch again. All right, now we are going to work 3 half double crochet stitches, yarn over, insert the hook. For me it is easier to insert the hook into the foundation chain and then just search for the back bump like this. But also if you don't see it correctly, you just look at it and then you take the needle and you just pull it up a little bit, just enough that you can insert your hook. So after the decrease, we are working on half double crochet stitches. So 1 half double crochet stitch into each of the next 3. So we have 2 right now. 1 more. We have 3. Perfect. And you can already see that we have this little heel here on the top. Now we are going to create an increase. So we are going to do that by creating half double crochet to together stitch, but we are going to skip 1 chain in between. So yarn over, use that back bump, pull the yarn through. You have 1, 2, 3. Now skip the next one. For me is this one here, and go under the next one, grab the yarn. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Grab the yarn and pull the yarn through. Now we are going to continue and work 1 half double crochet stitch into each of the next 3. So yarn over, under that back bump, grab the yarn, pull it through. We have 1, 2, 3, and pull it through. Again, yarn over, insert the hook, grab, pull the yarn through. 1, 2, 3, like this. So we have 2, 1 more. Perfect. And you can already see here that we have our work going up and then down and then up again. So what you are going to do now is you are going to continue working increase, 3 half double crochet stitches, decrease, 3 half double crochet stitches all the way around. And before you finish the round and you have to work on your very last half double crochet to together stitch, come back and I will show you how to finish the round. So what we are going to do now is we need to create 1 half double crochet stitch to together stitch and skip 1 chain in between. So what we are going to do now is, as you can see, we don't have a lot of stitches, so we are going to use what we have. So the last 2 stitches plus the slip stitch. Let me show you. So I'm going to insert the hook into the almost last stitch of this round, and we are going to skip this one here and continue with this one here like this, and complete our half double crochet to together stitch. This one here doesn't look perfect. Join the round with a slip stitch with the very first stitch of the round. Just insert the hook, grab the yarn on the other side and pull it through. And this is our, you see, this is our first round. What we are going to do now is we are going to chain 1 and start working on our second round. But for that we are going to skip our first stitch and work 3 half double crochet stitches here. So let's go 1, I'm going to use the stitch marker, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to search for the chain 1 space, which is right here. I'm going to search for that space and I am going to work 1 half double crochet stitch, 1 chain and 1 half double crochet stitch again into that same chain. Then I'm going to work 1/2 double crochet stitch into each of next 3. 1, 2, 3, and now the decrease. So we are going to use 3 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, and we are going to use the first and the last one, and one in the middle we are going to skip. So insert the hook. So we are going to yarn over, insert the hook, grab the yarn on the other side, skip one, continue in the next one, grab the yarn and pull through, grab the yarn and pull through. 3 half double crochet stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Now chain 1 space, that is right here. We're going to work an increase, so half double crochet, chain, and half double crochet stitch like this. And you can see that the first round was a little bit challenging because of the foundation chain. Now the second one is a little bit challenging because we are looking for chain 1 spaces between the increases, but as you go it is going to be easier and easier, simply because you will see where you have to insert your hook next, and it's going to be super easy. So we have 3 half double crochet stitches next, 1 already done, 2, and then 3. And you already know right now that you are going to work on the decrease, and then here on the increase, decrease, increase, and so on. And continue working on that, and I will show you how to finish the round. Alright, so this is what we have so far. We have, as you can see here, 2 stitches left, and one of those 2 is our joining stitch, so the slip stitch. What we are going to do is we are going to use those 2, and then do you remember the one that we skipped here right at the beginning of the round? Right, we are going to use that one as well. So yarn over, insert the hook into the first free stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then skip this one, so the slip stitch, and then insert the hook into this one here. You see, this one is used and this one is empty, so we are going to use this one, grab the yarn on the other side and pull it through, grab the yarn, pull through all the stitches on your hook, and now join the round with a slip stitch. So just insert the hook into the very first stitch of the round, grab the yarn on the other side and pull it through like this. Now that you've learned how to create this round 2, you are going to understand how to create the rest of them. So what I want you to do now is continue working on your rounds. So create round 3 with beige yarn, and then come back right before you finish round 3, and I'm going to show you how to switch the yarn, and you will be able to continue with a different color. Alright, so here we are going to create our last half double crochet 2 together stitch. So grab the yarn, yarn over, so yarn over, insert the hook into that stitch, grab the yarn and pull it through. We have 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then we are going to search for the very first stitch of the round, and we are going to insert the hook, grab the yarn and pull it through like this, and then this is our last stitch of the round. Now you are going to grab the stitch marker, insert the hook into that first stitch of the round, but instead of using that yarn, we are going to start using the next color, and that is going to be, in my case, this brown color. So I'm going to create a loop like this, just a simple loop, and then I'm going to pull that loop through both loops on my crochet hook like this. pull the yarn tails here at the back so they are nice and secure. Now start working with that yarn. Chain 1, skip that first stitch, start in the next one. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to crochet over that yarn tail, so that brown yarn tail, just so that I can secure this the yarn between the stitches, and I have less work once I have to weave all the yarn ends in. So how I do that is I twist the yarn around my hook, I line the thread along my round, and I insert the hook into the, not first but second stitch like this, and I make sure that I go under, you see, under the stitch and under the yarn tail, and grab the yarn, pull that yarn through the stitch from the row below. Alright, and now I'm going over that yarn tail like this, and I'm creating my first half double crochet stitch. And as you can see here now that this yarn tail is now nice and secure between the stitches, I am going to do that for 2 more. So I have my first 3 half double crochet stitches, and as you can see here, the yarn tail is nicely secure between those stitches. Now what I need to do now is just take the yarn needle and go back a little bit so that the yarn is really secured. Now I'm going to work on my increase, and then continue working on my round 4. Now let me show you something here. We are right here right now, and what I need you to do now is to create this round with brown color, and then create one with burnt orange and one with beige again, so that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds in total. Once you have that, come back and I will show you what to do next. So I finished my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. So I finished my leg with the main color yarn, and very important here, this round must be worked in the same color as the following round to avoid a visible seam in the leg area. So what we are going to do now, I am keep this one on my crochet hook. I have one done here already. This round, the next round we will be working on, is just the joining part, and then after that we are going to work on our first very normal round. So we are going to start with chain 1. We're going to skip the first one and work 1 half double crochet into each of first 3 stitches like this. All right, so I'm going to insert the stitch marker into the very first stitch of this round, and then I'm going to finish the whole round, but I'm going to stop before I join the round. So finish the round and come back once the round is complete, and we are going to start joining both legs. So now I'm going to create my half double 2 together stitch, same as before. So insert the hook, grab the yarn on the other side like this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on our hook and pull through. All right, so what we are going to do now is we are going to chain, and we are going to create a chain made of 10 chains. I highly recommend that those chains are not too tight, because otherwise you're going to have hard time finding them and inserting the needle. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so, and that is just enough for one up and down like this. So now I am going to search for the seam here, and I'm going to use that part here for the inner on the inner side. So yarn over, insert the hook into the, not into the first one, but as you can see, into the second stitch. You can see here is the peak, and here is the half double two together stitch, and this is the first stitch, so we are going to start in the second. Again, just yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch, grab the yarn and pull it through, and create your first half double crochet stitch. Alright, now continue as normal all around and come back once you finish your second leg. So now I am going to finish this round with a half double crochet two together. So again, we are going to use this stitch here, so the one that we skipped at the beginning of the round, to join like this. Now, very important step here, please do not twist the chain here. So I recommend looking your work from the top down, and if you see all the little hearts up, then this is the way to go. If not, then twist your work a little bit so that all the little hearts on your chain are going to look up, to be faced up. So I'm going to chain 10 again, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to be super careful not to twist the round, and I'm going to join the round here with a slip stitch into my very first stitch of the round, like this. Insert the hook and just pull the yarn through. Alright, and this is what we have so far. This is what we have. This is exactly what we need. And now we are going to chain 1. Chain 1 to lift the row to a proper height, and we're going to do exactly the same thing, still with main color, and we are going to work in our first round. So we are going to skip this one, so the first one, and start in the second. 3 half double crochet stitches in the row. Like this. You can see that this one is missing, and we are going to insert the stitch marker here, increase, and then continue working all the way around here in chains. Just make sure that you are continue working on your work as you did here, but just in case, once I am done here around this first leg, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to work in chains here. Alright, so here we are. I finished my 3 half double crochet stitches. Now I'm going to insert my hook into the very last stitch here on the leg. So yarn over, insert the hook, grab the yarn and pull it through. Now we are going to skip the first one. However, I am going to work in the front loops now, just in the, not in the back bumps. I would usually go for the back bumps, but in this case, I'm going to work on the front facing loops, but I'm going to, instead of working into both loops, I'm going to just pick up the back loop. So, alright, so this is our chain now. I usually work in the back bumps, but for now, for this part of the tutorial, I'm going to pick those loops on the front, and I'm going to use not both loops, but just the ones on the back, and that is going to be super easy to pick up, because it doesn't make sense to go through all that hustle with the both loops and with with the back bumps, just because we are going to sew this part together and we are going to make it beautiful later. So we can use either front or back bumps, whichever way you prefer. Just make sure you use the correct loops and that you use all of them, otherwise you're going to be short on your stitches. Once again, yarn over, insert the hook into the first stitch. Now skip this one and continue in the next one and create half double crochet 2 together stitch. So this is a half double 2 together stitch, then chain 3, 1, then a half double crochet 3 times, 1, 2 and 3, like this. And now we are going to create half double crochet stitch once, chain once, and then half double crochet stitch again into the same chain, half double crochet stitch 3 times, 1, 2 and 3. And I'm going to show you why I don't like to work into front loops when I work in chains, because you can see how wide are now they spread and how loose the stitches are. That's why. But it doesn't matter here, because we are going to take the yarn needle and just sew those two parts together and make the whole area nicer. So I'm going to create half double crochet 2 together stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next chain. Now skip this one and work in the next one like this. Alright, so this is our half double crochet 2 together stitch. Now half double crochet 3 times, 1, 2, and here 3, like this. And now we are going to continue working. Increase 3 half double crochet stitches, decrease 3 half double crochet stitches, increase, and you are going to continue working all the way around, and I will meet you right here at the end and show you how to finish this whole round. Alright, so I have my last stitch here that I need to do. So yarn over, I'm going to insert the hook into my very last stitch of the round. I'm going to grab the yarn and pull it through, and then this is the slip stitch that we normally skipped, and here you can see is hiding our first stitch of this round. I'm going to use that stitch again to create my last half double crochet 2 together stitch like this, and then I am going to join the round with a slip stitch. However, since this is now my last round made with the main color, so made with beige, I'm going to quickly change the yarn for this color, and then I'm going to continue working as I worked so far on my legs. So I'm going to continue adding my rounds. So 3 rounds made with beige yarn, 1 round made with brown, and 1 round made with this burnt orange yarn. And I'm going to continue building my main part of the romper. The only difference here between the legs and the main part of the romper is that you gained 2 hills. So just this area between the legs, you've gained this additional 2 hills that you have to work on, otherwise everything is completely the same. So what I have here is I am right here right now, and the next is going to be this round here made with brown, made with burnt orange, and then I'm going to continue all the way up till here, and then my last round will be made with beige yarn. So let's see how many repeats do we have. The start is from the brown yarn, so brown, burnt orange, and 3 3 rounds of beige. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds altogether, and let's say this is one segment, and we have to repeat 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and after that just one round with brown, burnt orange, and one with beige in our case. And once you have that, come back and I will show you how to create the front upper part of the romper and then the straps. So this is quite a lot of crocheting to do, and I will see you soon. Alright, so I am back with the romper. I finished this main part, so a couple of more rows of zigzag stitches, and now you can see we have 2 legs, the part in between, and the main part here. And we are going to start working on here, from here to here, which means if you look at your romper now, you will see that something what is marked as B, which is half double crochet 2 together stitch and 1 skip stitch in between, is here, and one part is here. So these two are the same. And then we have the peak here and here, which is half double crochet once, then chain 1 and half double crochet 1, all into chain 1 space from the row below, actually round below. And we are going to use this too, so I'm going to mark my chain 1 space on this side and chain 1 space on this side, which means that we are going to skip this little part on each side of the romper and start working from here to here. So one little note here, this romper is made in rounds, which means we did not turn the stitch, which means that you are always facing the front side of the stitch, and that gives you this kind of pattern. Since we will be working in rows, we are going to change our fabric every row, so you are going to see the stitches from front side and then from the back side. If you don't like that, so if you would prefer that you see the stitches same as here, then I would recommend not turning each row. Instead, cut the yarn and fasten off each time you finish the row. However, because it's easier for me and because I don't mind that much that the top part is a little bit different, I am going to work in rows, and I am going to turn after each row. So I'm going to turn my work after each row, and that is going to give me a tiny bit different fabric, tiny bit different look than you see right here. So I'm going to start working in this stitch, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to insert my hook into that chain 1 space, and I'm going to use the beige yarn, and I'm going to leave a little tail and pull the yarn through like this, and I'm going to secure it with 1 chain like this. Alright, so this is a good base for the start. And also one thing, so that I don't have too many yarn ends, I am going to crochet over that yarn tail. I'm going to show you how I do that just in a second. We are going to start here, and we are going to work our first half double crochet stitch, and I'm going to mark it with a stitch marker. You can use anything you like for stitch markers or even go without them, but I like them, and because I'm not working at home where I have a small child, I am comfortable to use them here in the office, but otherwise I prefer stitch markers in different shapes. For example, one good tip would be to use scrap yarn, so yarn in a different color you use for your project, and instead of inserting stitch marker like this one, just insert the yarn scrap, and that works too. So we are going to crochet 4 half double crochet stitches, each into its own stitch. We're going to start in chain 1 from the row below, and we are going to do, so this is 1, 2, and as you can see here, I am taking the yarn end with me, crocheting around it, 2, So 3 and 4. And as you can see here, I am crocheting my stitches, making my stitches a little bit faster than usual, because we are by now very familiar with half double crochet stitches, because those were all half double crochet stitches. Now we are going to make one half double crochet two together stitch, but we are going to skip the one in the middle, so we are going to use 3 stitches instead of just 2, like this. Then crochet one half double crochet stitch into each of next 3. 1, 2, and 3, like this. And now you are going to continue all the way to here, and I am going to come back here and I will show you how to finish the row. Here we are at the end of our row. Now we are going to join the next 3 stitches with a half double crochet 2 together stitch. 1, 2, 3 half double crochet stitches. So we have 3 half double crochet stitches, half double crochet 2 together stitch, 3 half double crochet stitches, and now we are going to end our row with 1 half double crochet stitch into the half double crochet stitch, chain 1 half double crochet stitch into from the row below. So half double crochet stitch. Now this is our first row. We are going to continue with decreases as we go, and as I mentioned earlier, now you can cut the yarn here and start here again if you want the same pattern as here. However, I am going to start turning rows after this one. So chain 1, now we are going to work half double crochet 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, like this. And I'm going to take the stitch marker, insert the stitch marker into the first stitch, and continue working on my front upper part. So half double crochet 2 together stitch, 3 half double crochet stitches, half double crochet stitch 1, chain 1 half double crochet stitch, and then zigzag all the way here. And instead of working 1 half double crochet stitch into last 4, this time only 3. Alright, now I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. As you probably guessed it, now we are going to start with 2 half double crochet stitches, each made into its own half double crochet stitch from the row below. So 1 half double crochet stitch into each of the next 2, and half double crochet 2 together stitch. Now you can continue all the way to the end, and we are going to finish with 2 half double crochet stitches instead of 3 as in the row below. Now we are going to go back a little bit. I'm going to unravel my last stitch because I forgot that I have to change the yarn. So 1, 2, 3, we have 3 loops on our crochet hook. Now I'm going to cut the yarn like this, and I'm going to continue with the light brown. Alright, so chain 1, turn your work, and work just 1 half double crochet stitch into the first one, and then we are going to create a half double crochet 2 together stitch. So here was 4, 3, 2, now it's just 1. And again, I'm going to work around this yarn end, so I don't have so many yarn ends at the end to weave in and to clean my stitches, which is great. This is the first half double crochet stitch. I'm going to mark it with a stitch marker, and then I'm going to continue with a half double crochet 2 together stitch with 1 stitch missed in between, so like this. Alright, now I'm going to continue working, and I'm going to finish my row with a half double crochet two together stitch and then one half double crochet stitch into the very last stitch of the row, and last half double crochet stitch. However, stop before you finish the stitch because we are going to change the yarn. We are going to continue with this burnt orange. So grab the yarn, pull it through like this, secure it with chain 1, turn your work, and now we are going to create just half double crochet two together stitch. Make sure that your yarn tails are on the inner side of your work. I'm going to take this yarn end and I'm going to take it with me. So insert the hook, grab the yarn, skip this one, insert the hook, grab the yarn, and create your half double crochet two together stitch. Insert the hook, insert the stitch marker, and work your zigzag stitches all the way up to the end of the row, where you will finish the row with a half double crochet two together stitch. I'm going to cut the yarn like this, and I'm going to continue with the base yarn. So I'm going to grab the yarn, pull it through, hold the ends tight, secure it with chain 1, turn, and now I am going to do the same as I did with the first row. I'm going to half double crochet stitch 4 times, each half double crochet stitch into its own stitch from the row below. So this is going to be the first one. You can see me crocheting around the yarn end, so like this. This is our first stitch. I'm going to secure it with a stitch marker. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is also our last row on the front upper part. Half double crochet, chain half double crochet stitch into the chain 1 from the row below, and I'm going to continue doing that, and I'm going to finish my row. So I'm going to repeat that here: half double crochet stitch, chain half double crochet stitch, and then work 1 half double crochet stitch into each of the last 4. Now we are going to cut the yarn and fasten up. So cut the yarn and finish. So this is what we have now. This is the front upper part, and as you can see here that the stitches are, the stitch pattern is not exactly the same, because here on the top we were turning rows. You cannot see it so much here when you're using the same yarn color. However, here and here you can see it, and if you don't like it, then I would highly recommend not turning rows but cutting the yarn instead, at least for those 2 colors that are different from beige, because and maybe this one here at the top, because then you will not see these parts, and the whole fabric might look a little bit better. Now I am going to hide the yarn tails between the stitches, and then we are going to start working on the straps. So now we are going to work on straps. I am going to use my stitch markers, and we are going to mark 1.5, again 1.5, like this. But because our last row or round here is not straight, we are going to create our first row on the strap that is made of stitches that are different height. We are going to start here. I am going to insert my hook into the chain 1 space. I am going to use the base yarn, pull the yarn through, and secure this stitch with chain 1. We are going to work 1 single crochet stitch into the next one. Again, I am crocheting over the yarn tail, so this is 1, and then we have 1 half double crochet stitch, so this is single crochet stitch. Let me show you again, maybe I was too quick. So insert the hook into the stitch, grab the yarn on the other side, pull it through. You have 2 loops on your crochet hook, pull it through, and that is your single crochet stitch. Now let's continue with the next one, half double crochet stitch. We are very familiar with that stitch because we are using it for this romper. And now we are going to create 2 double crochet stitches. Let me show you. Yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch, grab the yarn on the other side. You have 1, 2, 3. Grab the yarn and pull it just through first 2, like this, and then grab the yarn again and pull it through. Let's repeat this stitch one more time. Insert the hook, grab the yarn. You have 1, 2, 3, pull through 2, pull through 2, like this. And that should somehow even the last row. And that is the base for our strap, that our strap from now on is going to be straight. And from here on we are going to work in rows, single crochet stitches. We are going to chain 1, turn the row, and single crochet stitch across. So 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches, again chain 1, turn, and continue all the way up, which is from here on 27. So 1, 2, and then 27, and then I'm going to show you how to create a buttonhole. Okay, so this is my row 27, and now I am going to create a loop for the button. I'm going to create 1 additional row so that I'm going to have 28 in total. 2, 3, and 4. Now I am going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now attach the chain here into the very first stitch of the row. Chain 1 like this, and then work 8 single crochet stitches into that chain like this. Let's turn. 1, let's pull it down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, like this. Now we are going to attach this end here, like this. Oh, this yarn is splitting so much. So slip stitch here, like this. Now I am going to cut the yarn and secure the yarn end like this, pull it through like this, and then hide the yarn tail between the stitches here as well. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to start the second strap. So we are going to count 4 stitches starting here with chain 1. This is going to be our first stitch, but at the same time the last stitch, because we are going to crochet from here to here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Insert the hook, take the yarn, grab the yarn and pull it through like this. Now we are going to chain 2, 1, 2, because we are going to start with double crochet stitch, and that is way taller stitch than the single crochet or half double crochet, and we are going to work 1 double crochet stitch into that same stitch. Like this. Now create 1 double crochet stitch into the next one, 1 half double crochet stitch into the next one. Again, make sure the stitches are nice and secure and even. And now work 1 single crochet stitch here in the chain 1 space, like this. Everything else is exactly the same as with this strap. So you're going to work 27 rows in total. Then you're going to create this last part, which is 1 row, chain, and then a bunch of single crochet stitches back. You are going to continue now and create this second strap, and I am going to then show you how to attach the buttons and how to finish the romper. Now our straps are complete. We have 2 straps that are exactly the same, and at the end of each strap is the buttonhole, like this. And now we are going to create buttons for our romper. So for this portion of the video you are going to need 2 buttons, 1 for each side, and you are going to also need a needle. I'm going to use a yarn needle, and make sure the yarn needle is big enough but not too big. It has to go, or it has to slide through the buttonholes nicely. And one other thing that is important, the buttons are the size that fits through the buttonhole nicely, like this, a little bit tight but not too tight, so that the button will not slide right through the buttonhole, and the straps are going to stay on. Position the button and start sewing. I'm going to go in and out a couple of times just to make sure that my button is attached firmly to the fabric and the buttonhole. So, and this is the finished strap, like this. This is the back and this is the front. Now repeat the same thing with the second button. Now turn the romper nicer side in and find this opening between the legs, because now we are going to close this opening. The yarn you are using has to be the same color as your main yarn color. And now I am going to find where is the start and start sewing both ends together. At the beginning I will go through the same stitch, same 2 stitches a couple of times, but after that it's fine. Alright guys, that would be all for today. Thank you so much for watching and following my crochet pattern. It really means a lot. If you decide to share the photos online, make sure you tag me on Instagram, #crochet_patterns, so I can see them, because this really gives me more energy to continue and to continue working on new patterns and design and to share my journey with all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!